I work a lot in trying to kind of ferret out indicators of insincerity among activism. And one of the things that I've noticed is how often you will have these people who are advocating for the poor, and how rarely they are themselves poor or ever really have been. As many of you know, I myself have been in pretty dire financial circumstances for an extended period of time at this point. And I'm desperately trying to get, air through or air out of the room, or my own air in the room, or whatever. And I can't get heard because you've got all these machines and professionals that have turned our discourse and our ideology into commodity. And so now everything is created with a drive toward exploiting emotion and getting people blah, 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 blah. The whole machine, right? They fake it so well, and we fall for it so frequently and so completely that the pretense of discourse has overtaken discourse. And what I worry about is, and again, not everybody, I'm not trying to single out any one person here, or to suggest, excuse me, I'm sorry, we've got a little sound problem there. To suggest, there's some conspiracy or anything like that. Simply that some of the folks to whom we're giving a lot of attention and time, some of them very famous and well regarded, simply are not in this for our best interests. They are in this for themselves and for attention to or profit for themselves. And it shows in the way they behave if you pay attention. If you look at somebody like Bernie Sanders is a guy who has stepped aside a lot of times or oftentimes brought up voices and elevated voices of the people that he advocates for. He gives these folks a microphone and says, you speak, you tell your story, rather than at the other sort of extreme end. And again, I'm not going to call anybody out by name. I'm not trying to, pick on anybody in particular here. It's a widespread problem, and it's a common problem. I think to some degree, most politicians certainly have the problem. You're pandering. You're looking for that. You're looking for the numbers, and advocacy is the same way. And it's what I do. So again, I'm not just talking out of my butt here. You know what I mean? You make that decision on a constant basis of, am I going to present this in, 100% raw and real way, or am I going to try to massage it in some way to make it more palatable to the people that I know are paying attention to the conversation. And that can go from, anything from gatekeeping giant topics all the way up to, ongoing decisions that I'm making as we're talking about the words that come out of my mouth. Fundamentally, we have this issue where we get these personalities and we get these folks, and many of them well-intended and so on and so forth, but they'll get involved, they'll get engaged, they'll get a little attention. It starts to work, but then they start worrying more about the numbers than they do about the reason that they got involved in the first place. And it becomes all about them, and it becomes every event that happens that gets any sort of public attention is all about them. And this is when you see that slider start moving from the public interests and the public good to the personal and private aspiration, and the ego and the profit driving. And I just wanted to take a minute and sort of reframe that question for you. And again, the fundamental question that I want you to ask yourself today is just try to develop a habit of every time you see somebody online who is advocating for the poor, ask yourselves who they are, what they do, how poor are they, how rich are they? Has that always been the case? Have they gone through a period of an extended time as an adult or as a child when they were poor, like living in a room on the edge of homelessness, poor? Ask that question. And if the answer is no, then ask why these people who have this platform are not elevating other voices, who have that authentic experience and who aren't afraid to speak directly to power. Because a lot of these, it's just the nature of capitalism, right? You don't want to piss off your advertisers. And unfortunately, we're trapped in a loop on that. And people like me aren't beholden to advertisers. So, give us a mic. Let us speak. We're not ignorant. We're not incapable. We're not all, out trying to make a show of ourselves. I'm not out here trying to stoke some kind of revolution. It's happening with me or without me. I'm trying to make it sane and painless as possible. And I can't get through. And again, it's not about me. I'm just an example. But anyway, and speaking of, you see the stuff flashing across the bottom there, the PayPal address, the Patreon. If you can help, please do. I am currently, it's life on the edge. So, everybody, whether it's $5 or 5,000, and I've had both happen over the years, it all helps. It's all deeply appreciated. And, the more people see this stuff and the more it gets around, the more support I have, et cetera, et cetera. Like, share, subscribe. It's always free. If you disagree, if you want to argue about it, the comments section is below. By all means, feel free to duck in and say your piece, and we'll see where it goes from there. So thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a great afternoon, and I will see you soon. John Henry from johnhenry.us. Refrain. Have a great evening. Let me find my out. I gotta fix another outro scene for the live setup. Sorry about that. Bye, guys.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget that I am as independent media gets, and that means I'm 100% reliant on your engagements to spread the work around and get the word out so that we can try to turn humanity a quarter degree in a more sane direction. Don't forget also, if you stop by the website, johnhenry.us, and become a member or make a one-time contribution, there are various levels and benefits available, including having your name appear. You can sponsor a show or gain a production credit. Whole lot of stuff going on over there, different ways that you can help to support independent media and keep me able to do what I'm doing so that you can go do what you do. So thank you very much and have a great day.